Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's get right into the video. Subscribe, like, share with your friends. I have a very important message for you guys. Do not work in the fashion industry. Okay, do you hear me? Do not work in the fashion industry. Don't do it. You guys are probably gonna be like, Amber, you just told us 2 videos ago to work in the fashion industry. You gave us tips on how to get into the industry. I did, and you can go watch that video. I'm gonna link it in my bio. Now we're gonna flip the script, and I have to be honest with you guys. You know, I want to tell the truth on my channel. I want to be real with you guys. After working in the fashion industry, I just want to tell you, it is not everything it is cracked up to be. And to be clear, this isn't about any specific company. This isn't about any specific person I've worked with at all. This is in no affiliation with anywhere I've worked, any person I've worked with. It's the energy of the fashion industry in general. A general hello. I've had a lot of great accomplishments that I'm very proud of, but I've also had some very negative experiences. It's all crazy. It's just crazy. This is why, you guys, I have denounced the fashion industry just a little bit. Like, I will always love fashion. I will always talk about fashion. It's a hobby for me. It's something I genuinely love. If you don't genuinely love fashion, you will not want to work in this industry. If you're not a genuine creative, if you don't get joy from the fashion industry, you will not want to work in the industry, because it's a mean, crude world. Like, the Devil Wears Prada vibes, that is the vibe of the industry. Like, you guys know how in the Devil Wears Prada, Andy, they were talking shit about her. They did not like her. They were confused. She was confused. They didn't really start liking her until she wore those thigh-high Chanel boots, and she got a little sassy. She got a little clout. Miranda started to rock with her. Then they started to say, okay, you know, we like you now. After you got bitchy and after you started to look really, really, really good, you got some clout. That's how it works. It's like this unspoken stamp. So you could get that stamp from followers, having a lot of followers, or sometimes that's not the case. There's people that don't have a lot of followers, but they have a stamp because they're really chic or they're really cool, or whatever. Until you get that stamp, however you get that stamp, whether it's selling your soul or otherwise, you're not gonna enjoy the industry. Like, the clout of it all, you guys, has really made me denounce fashion, and I want to warn and save other young women. Like, I feel like it would be much cooler if you made your own app or you got into coding. I really like the idea of fashion mixed with tech. And then here's the thing, everyone's a fashion blogger now. Everybody's a stylist, everybody's this and that, and me too. I mean, I'm on here telling you guys I'm a fashion blogger, and now I'm telling you guys I hate the industry, and you guys are probably like, what the hell? For me, I just started to feel so just underappreciated, and just found it to be very just not gratifying to put all that work into a shoot and to be kind of treated like shit on some of these sets. Like, my first shoot, brief story time, was like a horror story. Again, working with people who think they have clout. God bless them. I've forgiven them, and, you know, we wish everybody well. But it was just the worst experience because the talent had an attitude. The photographer thinks they're this and that, and they're like very, they're just very, it's very vain, you guys. It's very superficial. So if you're ready to get superficial, join the fashion industry. The overconsumption, the idea that you have to have a new outfit on Instagram every time you take a picture, the fact that, you know, people are only judging you by how curated your Instagram is. Not everyone, but a lot of people. Like living in this world, you know, it's a modern world, but also human beings, we will be the downfall of the earth if we don't take care of it. So the overconsumption of the fashion industry, just from an ethical standpoint, I started to also have a lot of disdain for that part of it. And you know, you can't really help that unless you kind of participate in like get as sustainable as possible, which is like buying vintage or reselling, or you know, participating in having like a really minimal wardrobe. All of those things are some of the things I've started to do. Then there's the point that a lot of these corporations, the people running it, are racist or homophobic or just a slew of disgusting things, and we're buying into these companies and we don't even know who these people we're giving our dollars to. It's just like a very like the underdog does not win all the time, or it's going to take a long time to see the fruit of your labor sometimes. Now, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm very optimistic. I'm telling you these things just as a warning and just as me being very truthful, because I will continue to talk about fashion. I will continue to make fashion videos and participate in fashion, but there's another side of me. I'm a realist that I think it's a waste of time. And then it's like people think it's 2024, so you know, we're living in an inclusive day and age. It's like yes and no. I feel that sometimes, you know, fashion is always going to have its roots in being like this white, rich, you know, European world. I think it's starting to change because people are forcing them to look in the mirror, but even still they kind of cop it out by just having like that one representation on set. Like if there's gonna be a dark skin model, there's gonna be like 1 of 10 girls in the city that can do it. And if there's gonna be a thicker girl, there's gonna be 1 of 3 girls in the city. And like we could literally, if you know the industry, we could sit here and name those 3 girls. You could be the most creative, you could be the realist, you could be literally Miss Creativity. You walk into these spaces and if you don't hold your head high, like for me, I hold my head high anywhere I am. I don't care what you think. But if you don't have that confidence and if you don't carry yourself in a certain way, like I'm that bitch regardless, these people will eat you alive and they will look directly past you. And then it's like, as soon as you get that stamp, that elusive stamp I was telling you guys about, now it's like, oh, we love you, or darling this and darling that. Thumbs down. But I just wanted to do a little warning that as much as I love fashion, it's important to be realistic, and it's important to keep your mind open and realize this isn't all there is to life. These shoots will be $1 million shoots, right? And it's like, what could we be doing with those $1 million? Giving Americans free health care, helping the homeless crisis. Like there's so many things we can be doing with these millions of dollars that go into the industry. Like I said, I don't think it's right or wrong. Well, it's wrong, but I still participate, so I'm not pointing a finger. I'm a part of this industry. I love it. But on a real note, it's just like, what are we doing? Who are we? Where's the industry gonna go? Where is the industry going to go when the world is just getting more and more bleak, and especially on a sustainable note, on an ethical note? How is fashion gonna survive in a world where people can't even live? And it's like a lot of these girls that work in fashion now, they're able to sustain themselves because they have families that are backing them. They're able to support themselves that way and come to the city and live this dream New York lifestyle because, you know, they have their families holding them down, paying their rent. There's no shame in that. That's what your family should be doing. But it's a class thing, right? So those type of people are able to kind of maybe have a different experience than somebody who is really creative, but they don't come from a lot of money and they're coming to the city just on like their creative prowess and trying.
Wait, is this fucking play about us?
Trying to like do their best and do their biggest one, and you realize there's no money in the industry, so you have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to try to be this creative. Is it worth it? I don't know. You can decide that for yourself, but I really did want to quickly put this out there. Don't work in the industry if you don't have a deep love for it, because it's not that deep. And the awesome thing about fashion is once you get to a certain level, you can give back and you can circle back and do those things, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people in this industry, they don't care about you or me unless we have that clout. And even when we get that clout, some people at the tippy top will still never look at you and will still never think you're this or that. Now, should we care about that? No. Is that going to stop me from being creative and pursuing whatever I want to do and living my Black truth? Absolutely not. But I did want to warn you guys. Like I said, The Devil Wears Prada is one of my favorite movies. And just look at the difference of Andy when she looked like a bummy to them, when she wasn't fitting the look, fitting the bill, fitting the attitude. The difference when she got in her bag, you know, the doors opened up. So it's like, do you want to trade off being genuine and being kind to work in this industry, or selling your soul, whatever that means? I don't know. So this is something I just genuinely go back and forth about. The fashion content will not stop, but I want to be very clear that I'm a person with interests outside of fashion, beyond fashion, and the trajectory of the world. I don't know where fashion is going to go, especially if it doesn't get more genuine and a little more artful and a little more real and a lot more inclusive, and not just surface level. We're just doing it. When we are inclusive, we're doing it on a superficial note, just to say, well, we did have that Black girl in there, or we did have that thick girl in there that one time. So, but I just want to tell you, you are more than that fashion job that you do or do not get. You're still a creative. You don't need a company to stamp your creativity. You don't need a certain job or to be in a certain room to stamp who you are and to feel like that girl, or to continue being creative and doing it, whatever it is you want to do, whether that be in fashion or otherwise. But this is a warning. Don't say Amber didn't warn you. And like I said, I think it's much cooler and awesome to be like educated, and I love fashion. It's not, well, this was a video of me bashing fashion, but I still work in the industry, so it's not me saying don't pursue it if you really love it. But I think it's cooler to give back and to care about the earth and to be in touch with the real issues of the world. It's very superficial, you guys, and vain and overconsumed, and everybody's just, you know, trying to dip their toe into what they think is tea, and they're drinking piss. But I will still do whatever I want to do and live my truth and have a lot of fun doing it, and blah 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 and da 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 da. Don't do it unless you love it. And honestly, you might walk away not loving it. That's kind of where I am right now, you guys. I don't like my time working in fashion. I'm just feeling a little burnt out, feeling a little used. So, and I think this is a feeling that a lot of people in the industry, whether big or small, have, and they go back and forth about. So I'm just telling you that you can expand your interests beyond fashion. Just because every person in their 20s wants to work in this industry, you know, there's more to life. You're gonna live a long life in Jesus' name, and you can do many different things. And maybe fashion is the first stop, maybe not. I don't know. Although the fashion content will not stop. That's just what I have to say. So get out there, plant a tree, read a book, be the best person you can be, and maybe don't work in fashion. Gag. Mic drop. Okay. I love you guys.
Which exposed the exploitation.
That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all.